I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Actually, don't do that. I got a bit on, to be honest.
Chatting Tracks. Let's talk music.
Hi, it's Robbie. It's Chatting Tracks. Let's talk music. Let's talk music indeed. Welcome to today's episode. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the 30th anniversary of Loser and Mellow Gold, the album. I've got my original cassette here that I bought back in the day. £2.29 from John Menzies. I loved it then. I love it now. I play it all the time. I just think it's one of the best singles ever made, and the album's absolutely incredible. I thought I had to do this deep dive and have a look at it. Now, if you're just joining me for the first time, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me on this journey. Now, it turns out 98% of people that watch the channel don't subscribe, so if you could subscribe, that would absolutely help me out. If you're returning, hello, mate. Thanks for coming back. I'm so glad you're here with me. I love Beck. I've loved him a long time. I saw him live a few years ago, and I thought it was going to be like a folk set, and he put on a full rock show. It was absolutely amazing. He's brilliant live. If you get the chance, go and see him. Let me know in the comments if you ever seen him live. I'd love to know if you've seen him as well. Anyway, Loser and Mellow Gold at 30 years old. Let's get into it.
Picture this. It's 1994. Grunge is at its peak and the alternative scene is ripe for a shake-up. Enter Beck Hansen, a quirky folk rapper from Los Angeles, armed with a genre-defying album that would soon become the soundtrack to a generation's beautiful confusion. Mellow Gold, Beck's third studio album and major label debut, hit the shelves on March 1st, 1994. But this wasn't just another album release. It was a cultural moment that would redefine the boundaries of alternative music. Beck Hansen, widely known by his stage name Beck, is a multifaceted American musician, singer, songwriter, and record producer, renowned for his eclectic musical style that blends elements of folk, funk, hip-hop, alternative rock, country, and electronic music. Born on July 8, 1970, in Los Angeles, California, Beck grew up in a highly artistic environment. His father, David Campbell, is a noted arranger and conductor, and his mother, Bibi Hansen, is a visual artist and former Warhol superstar. Beck's early career was marked by a strong DIY ethic and a penchant for performing in coffeehouses and clubs around Los Angeles. His breakthrough came in 1993 with the single Loser, which became an unexpected hit and turned him into an alternative rock star. The song's success led to a record deal with DGC Records and the release of his major label debut album, Mellow Gold, in 1994. Loser epitomized Beck's ability to blend ironic lyrics with a catchy, genre-blurring sound, a hallmark of his early work. The recording of Mellow Gold took place in various lo-fi settings, including Beck's home and makeshift studios, contributing to the raw and unpolished sound of the album. The album was primarily recorded on 8-track tape machines, emphasizing the lo-fi aesthetic that was part of Beck's charm. Beck worked with several producers and musicians during the recording process, including Tom Rothrock and Rob Schnapf, who co-produced much of the album. Carl Stevenson, a hip-hop producer, also played a significant role, especially on the track Loser. The production team was quite small, with Rothrock and Schnapf handling much of the engineering work along with Beck himself. This intimate production setup allowed for a lot of creative freedom and experimentation. The famous line, "I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?" was recorded on the spur of the moment. Beck had no intention of making a hit single. It was simply a result of jamming with Carl Stevenson in his kitchen. The cover art of Mellow Gold features a scarecrow-like figure known as Surrealist Man, created by artist Eddie Lopez. The bizarre and somewhat eerie artwork complements the eclectic and unconventional nature of the music. Homemade instruments. Beck used several homemade and unconventional instruments during the recording process, such as toy guitars, kazoos, and even a vacuum cleaner hose, to achieve the album's distinctive sound. Much of Mellow Gold was recorded in Beck's living room, adding to the intimate and personal feel of the album. This DIY approach was partly due to budget constraints, but also a deliberate choice to maintain creative control. Beck initially released several of the tracks on independent labels before signing with DGC Records. The success of Loser caught the attention of major labels, leading to the broader release of Mellow Gold. Mellow Gold has been credited with helping to define the lo-fi genre and influencing a generation of indie and alternative musicians. Its success demonstrated that unconventional and low-budget recordings could achieve mainstream success. Mellow Gold remains a landmark album in Beck's career, showcasing his innovative spirit and ability to blend a wide array of influences into a cohesive and impactful work. The song's creation and recording process is marked by a mix of spontaneity, DIY spirit, and innovative production techniques. Beck wrote Loser in 1992 while he was living in Los Angeles and struggling to make a name for himself in the local music scene. The lyrics of Loser reflect a sense of frustration and self-deprecation. Beck has often recounted that the song's famous chorus, "I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?" came about almost as a joke. He improvised the lyrics over a rudimentary blues riff, finding the phrase fit perfectly with the slacker ethos of the time. The verses are a mix of surreal and fragmented images, delivered in a rap-like cadence. This approach was influenced by Beck's exposure to hip-hop, which he admired for its lyrical ingenuity and rhythmic flow. The lyrics of Loser were written quickly, embodying an off-the-cuff, irreverent spirit that characterized much of Beck's early work. The recording of Loser took place at the home studio of producer Carl Stevenson. Located in Silver Lake, Los Angeles, Stevenson and Beck met through mutual connections in the music industry, and their collaboration on Loser was both serendipitous and groundbreaking. Using an 8-track recorder, Beck and Stevenson combined live instruments with samples and drum machines, creating a layered, eclectic sound. The iconic slide guitar riff that opens the track was played by Beck and looped throughout the song. Stevenson added various samples and beats, including the distinctive sitar sample that lends an exotic flair to the track. The production was lo-fi but inventive. Beck's vocals were recorded with a sense of immediacy and rawness, emphasizing the song's unpolished charm. The mixing process involved a lot of trial and error, with Beck and Stevenson experimenting with different sounds and effects to achieve the final product. Loser was initially released as a 12-inch single on Bong Custom Records in 1993, with a limited pressing of just 500 copies. The song quickly gained traction on college radio and alternative rock stations, leading to a bidding war among major labels. Beck eventually signed with DGC Records, which re-released Loser in 1994 as part of his album Mellow Gold. The song became an unexpected hit, reaching number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and becoming an anthem for Generation X. Its success catapulted Beck to fame and established him as a unique voice in the music industry, capable of blending disparate genres into a cohesive and compelling whole. Loser remains one of Beck's most iconic songs, symbolizing the DIY ethos and genre-blending innovation that has defined his career. Its creation is a testament to the power of spontaneity and collaboration in producing music that resonates across decades. Released in 1993, is a song that has had a significant cultural impact, resonating with the ethos of the 1990s and influencing music and popular culture in numerous ways. Loser emerged during the early 1990s, a period characterized by the rise of alternative rock and the mainstreaming of the grunge movement. At a time when artists like Nirvana and Pearl Jam were dominating the charts with a sound that was raw and introspective, Beck's Loser stood out for its eclectic blend of folk, hip-hop, and experimental rock. The song's distinctiveness captured the fragmented, often contradictory spirit of the decade, resonating with a generation that felt disillusioned with conventional norms and mainstream culture. Lyrical nihilism and slacker culture. The refrain, "I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?" became an anthem for the so-called slacker generation, encapsulating a sense of irony, disaffection, and self-deprecation. The song's lyrics, which Beck has described as a spontaneous stream of consciousness composition, reflect a broader cultural malaise. They speak to the feelings of inadequacy and the search for identity that were common among young people in the 1990s. The song's ironic detachment and dark humor were emblematic of a cultural shift towards a more cynical and self-aware approach to life and art. Over the years, Loser has remained relevant, continuing to be a touchstone for discussions about 1990s culture. Its influence can be seen in the work of numerous artists who blend genres and embrace a DIY ethos. The song has been covered and referenced in various media, further embedding it in the cultural consciousness. In summary, Loser by Beck is more than just a song. It's a cultural artifact that encapsulates the spirit of the 1990s. Its impact is evident in its influence on music, its reflection of societal attitudes, and its enduring presence in popular culture. Beck's ability to channel the zeitgeist of his time into a single, unforgettable track has ensured that Loser remains a significant and influential piece of musical history. Mellow Gold achieved notable chart success, particularly in the United States. The album peaked at number 13 on the Billboard 200, an impressive feat for an indie artist at the time. Its success was driven in large part by the popularity of Loser, which helped generate significant interest in the album as a whole. The single Loser was a major hit, reaching number 10 on the Billboard Modern Rock Tracks chart. It also made its way onto the Billboard Hot 100, where it peaked at number 10. The song's success was not confined to the US. It also charted internationally, further cementing Beck's reputation as an innovative and influential artist. Overall, the success of Mellow Gold and Loser played a crucial role in establishing Beck's career, demonstrating his ability to blend diverse musical styles and appealing to a wide audience. The album remains a significant release in the alternative music genre, and Loser continues to be one of Beck's most iconic songs. Rolling Stone praised Beck for his innovative fusion of genres and his witty, sardonic lyrics. The magazine highlighted Loser as a defining track of the era, capturing the disaffected yet creative spirit of Generation X. Beck's ability to mix seemingly disparate musical elements into a cohesive and engaging album was noted as a major strength. Spin magazine also lauded Mellow Gold, emphasizing Beck's unique approach to songwriting and production. The album's lo-fi aesthetic and DIY ethos resonated with the magazine's readership, positioning Beck as a fresh and authentic voice in a music industry often dominated by more polished and commercial acts. The New York Times appreciated the album's raw energy and Beck's distinctive vocal delivery. The paper noted that Mellow Gold defied easy categorization, which was part of its charm and appeal. Beck's lyrics, often filled with surreal and absurd imagery, were seen as both humorous and thought-provoking. Mixed reviews. Pitchfork offered a more nuanced take on Mellow Gold, acknowledging its originality and Beck's talent, but also pointing out that the album's experimental nature could be hit or miss. While some tracks were praised for their innovation, others were seen as less effective, with the overall album being described as uneven. Entertainment Weekly gave a mixed review, commending Beck's creativity and the standout single Loser, but critiquing some of the album's more obscure tracks for their lack of coherence. The magazine suggested that while Mellow Gold was an impressive debut, it showed that Beck was still honing his artistic vision. Following the success of Mellow Gold, Beck continued to evolve and experiment with his sound. Albums like Odelay 1996 and Mutations 1998 showcased his ability to fuse diverse genres and incorporate a wide array of instruments and production techniques. Odelay, in particular, was a critical and commercial success, earning multiple Grammy nominations and featuring hits like and Devil's Haircut. The 2000s saw Beck exploring different musical landscapes with albums such as Sea Change 2002, which marked a departure from his earlier, more playful style, offering a more melancholic and introspective tone. This period also included Guero 2005 and The Information 2006, both of which continued to reflect his eclectic approach and willingness to innovate. In recent years, Beck has maintained his relevance in the music industry with albums like Morning Phase 2014, which won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year, and Colors 2017, which showcased a return to a more upbeat and pop-oriented sound. His ability to continually reinvent himself and his music has cemented his status as one of the most influential and versatile artists of his generation.
That was my dive into Loser and Mellow Gold at 30. Let me in the comments what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What's your favourite Beck album? and your favourite Beck single. I'd love to know what your favourite one is. And, like I said earlier, have you seen him live? I'd love to know your opinion on his live show. I thought he was amazing. Like I said earlier, if you can subscribe, that would really help me out and do me a massive favour. If you've already done it, thank you so much. You really helped me on my musical journey. And then it means I get to talk about music all day, which is what I love doing. So thank you so much for that. Anyway, I've been Robbie. Check out the rest of the channel. I've got reaction videos, I've got deep dives, I've got interviews, and I've got live streams on there as well. Check out the rest while you're here. Why not? Anyway, I've been Robbie. This has been a deep dive into Loser and Mellow Gold at 30, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love and peace.